Town of Hinton respectfully acknowledges that it is located on the First Peoples traditional lands. We recognize this traditional territory to show respect and understanding to those who walk this land since time immemorial. Today, we uphold our ongoing responsibilities to work together in the spirit and the intent of the treaties with all First Peoples and nations that call this place home. The town expresses gratitude for the opportunity to build a better community on these sacred lands for generations to come. And with that, I call to order the regular council meeting of March 17th, 2026. Council, any addition or amendments to the agenda? Administration?
No changes.
Councillor Charlton? Oh,
Thank-
hang on, turn on your mic.
I would like to make the motion to accept. I would like to make the motion that council adopt the agenda for March 17th, 2026 as presented.
All right, we have a motion on the floor to accept the agenda. Please vote. And that's passed unanimously. Thank you. Next, we need to deal with some minutes. Council. Councillor Dunn.
I'd like to make the motion that we adopt council minutes for the regular council meeting, March 3rd, and the committee of the whole meeting, March 10th.
Thank you. Council, we have a motion on the floor. Please vote. And that's passed unanimously. Next is a minute with council. Do we have anybody today?
No, there's no one this evening.
Thank you. And with that, I will entertain a motion to go into closed session. Councillor McLean.
Yeah, I'd like to move that council go into closed session.
Thank you. Oh. Right. Assuming we vote in favor, I guess. All right, that's passed unanimously. Here you go. We'll turn on the lights. They go hot as soon as it. Welcome back, everyone. It sounds like we might have an issue. All right, well, we're going to declare a short break so we can work out the tie. Welcome back, everyone. And coming out of closed session, our first item is going to be 5.1. That's the appointments to the Hinton Grant Funding Advisory Committee. And we've decided the tie, and who are they? CEO Panasic.
Thank you, Mayor. So we are recommending that council appoint Mike Story, Susan Armstrong, Lila Moselle, Trevor Boutillier, and Hiral Tangri to the Hinton Grant Advisory Committee for a one-year term.
Council, somebody want to make that motion? Councillor Chambers.
I'd like to make a motion that council appoint Mike Story, John Lawal, Susan Armstrong, Lila Moselle, Trevor Boutillier, and Hiral Tangri. Actually, is it one, two? That's 6.
My apologies. It is Mike Story, Susan Armstrong, Lila Moselle, Trevor Boutillier, and Hiral Tangri.
I'll start that again. I'll make the motion that council appoint Mike Story, Susan Armstrong, Lila Moselle, Trevor Boutillier, and Hiral Tangri to the Hinton Grant Funding Advisory Committee for a one-year term.
Hey, council, we have a motion on the floor, but I do, I guess, have a question for administration before we go on. What are our options as it relates to any sort of an automated traffic? Is that something that's been looked at?
Through the mayor, members of council, we haven't looked at the options available to us now after the ATE was stricken by the province. I know they've come back, or there is some possible options. I don't know if it's grandfathered communities or not, but to look at it in a very limited capacity. But generally, we haven't looked at this option in a deep way since I believe it was 23, 24 when we had made a decision to cancel the ATE program prior to the province actually making that determination. So we haven't looked into it in depth.
Thank you. Councillor Dunn, your light was blinking. Okay. All right, council, then we have a motion on the floor. Any other comments, thoughts, questions? Seeing none, then I call to question the council appoint Mike Story, Susan Armstrong, Lila Moselle, Trevor Boutillier, and Hiral Tangri to the Hinton Grant Funding Advisory Committee for a one-year term. And with that, please vote. And I'm not surprised that's passed unanimously. Thank you. All right. Then on to our action items. Our second action item then is the council remuneration policy number 1103, administration.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. We're bringing this forward in relation to the FCM convention. We do have it included in the council remuneration policy that typically councillors, mayor being exempt from that term, attend once per term, but there are provisions within the council remuneration policy that where travel savings are made possible due to the location of the SCM annual conference, additional councillors may attend. The 2026 convention is in Edmonton. It is, this is a conference that is located around Canada, so it's pretty rare that this convention is so close to our backyard. So we are bringing this forward for council to consider whether we want to have a larger amount of councillors attend this conference just due to its location being so close. We also are recommending that our understanding is that the mayor will not be able to attend. And so just to confirm that the deputy mayor can attend in that stead within that budget pocket. So just a few more housekeeping item, but we do have provisions included in our policy for the direction that has been recommended.
Thank you. Council, how do we want to deal with this? Councillor Chambers?
And my apologies, I wasn't here at the committee meeting when this was discussed, but so the intent of the first recommended action is that council could attend and it would not apply to your attendance limit, but the funding would still come out of your council budget, or it would be covered in addition to your council budget.
Through the mayor. So the intent is that the motion is going to authorize the members to attend, and it's not going to be applied against that once per term limit that is included in the remuneration policy. And that this can come from the budget allotment. It's not something that we're going to require come out of everybody's professional development. And that's consistent with practice. But we've also had that because it's not going to apply to the attendance limit, that council will have the opportunity to go to a future convention utilizing the town budget allotment as well. So
Okay, so essentially it would be coming out of the main pocket. It wouldn't be coming out of our individual professional development for Edmonton, but we still have another opportunity to go at a later point in the term to a different city if we wish.
correct. This one is just being looked at as, one that all of council can attend, similar to an Alberta municipalities being in Edmonton. But council's also authorized to go to attend another convention sometime in their term under the town budget, not your professional development. If you want to go, more than that, that will have to come out of your individual professional development.
Okay.
Councillor Chambers?
Seeing that, I'd like to make a motion that council approve attendance for all members of council to attend the Federation of Canadian Municipalities Annual Conference and Trade Show in Edmonton, Alberta in June 2026. With such approval does not apply to the attendance limit under council remuneration policy number CL 1103.
And now that we do have a motion on the floor, and I don't see anybody else in line, I'm going to speak to it. I do think that we're looking at an awful lot of issues that relate to potentially to our federal government relationships there. And I think this is time well spent. Now, I'm going to be on my motorcycle in Europe somewhere, so I'm not going to be on there. But I think as many counselors we could get to this really does serve a bunch of purposes. So I'm speaking in favor of it. All right, no other comments then. Council, I call to question the council approve attendance of all members of council to attend the Federation of Canadian Municipalities Annual Conference and Trade Show in Edmonton, Alberta, June 2026, with such approval does not apply to the attendance limit under the council remuneration policy number CL 1103. I think the word "with" should come out after that comma, but. And with that, council, please vote. And that's carried unanimously. Thank you. All right, our next action item is Councillor Chambers.
I believe the recommendation was that we would make a second motion that council direct that the funding for the deputy mayor's attendance at the Federation of Canadian Municipalities Conference be allocated from the mayor's budget and that all associated expenses be allocated accordingly.
Thank you. All right, we have another motion on the floor. Any thoughts, comments? Seeing none, then I call the question that council direct that the funding for the deputy mayor's attendance at the 2026 Federation of Canadian Municipalities Conference be allocated from the mayor's budget and that all associated expenses be allocated accordingly. And with that, please vote. I can't see what happened, but I'm assuming that's passed unanimously. There we are. That's passed unanimously. Thank you. All right, now we can move on to the water utility bylaw number 2005-1. Administration?
Thank you, Mayor. And this one will go to Mr. McLaughlin.
Good afternoon, Council. In front of you tonight is the Water Utility Bylaw 2005-1. We're looking to update this bylaw tonight to coincide with our water meter project. At the Committee of the Whole meeting, committee made the motion to set rates for those who have made reasonable efforts to participate in the water meter program, as well as a flat rate for those who have refused or didn't participate in the water meter program. We have drafted the definitions into the bylaw in involuntary unmetered customers, as well as voluntary unmetered customers, and applied definitions to those so that we can set those rates in the fees, rates, and charges bylaw later in the meeting. I think that pretty much summarizes this topic, but I'm also happy to take questions about the water meter project in general if it helps you make decisions.
Thank you. Councillor Dunn.
Yes, question for administration. Is there some kind of a mechanism that that happens that we would be looking at the rates in the future? I'm just wondering, say January 1, 2028 or earlier. If we set this right now, I'm just wondering what change, when we could possibly change them or increase them.
Through the chair to council. So what is currently upcoming in the fees, rates, and charges bylaw, if council chooses to pass it, the lower rate of the involuntary unmetered customer would disappear naturally on December 31st of this year, which gives people the remaining part of this year to address plumbing concerns and get the water meter installed. And then the only the voluntary unmetered customer rate would be in play January 1st, 2027. But council at any time could request the rates to come back, and we'd be happy to bring them to you for review at any time.
Okay, thank you.
Point of clarification then is this water utility bylaw is actually silent to those rates. We're not talking about those. All we're doing is approving the definitional change to bring in voluntary and non-voluntary meter owners, controllers, correct?
Yes. So by changing the bylaw, we are adding the definitions into this bylaw so that in the fees, rates, and charges bylaw.
Correct, but
we can
again, it's
guide
not,
the-
there's no rates in this bylaw, correct?
Correct. There is no rate
Thank
in
you.
this bylaw whatsoever.
Councillor Chambers.
I'd like to move that council give the water utility bill bylaw number 2005-1 first reading.
Thank you. Council, we have a motion on the floor. Any thoughts? With that, I call to question the council give the water utility bylaw number 2005-1 first reading. Please vote. And that's passed unanimously. Thank you. Council. Councillor Charlton.
I would like to make a motion that council give the water utility bylaw number 2005-1 second reading as presented.
All right. We have a motion on the floor. Any thoughts? All right. then I call the question to council, give the water utility bylaw number 2005-1 second reading as presented. Please vote. And that's passed unanimously. Thank you, council. Councillor Chambers.
I'd like to move that council seek unanimous consent for third reading of the water utility bylaw number 2005-1.
Council, we have a motion on the floor. Councillor Dunn, your mic's still blinking. Okay, thank you. That council seek unanimous consent for the third reading of the water utilities bylaw number 2005-1. Please vote. And that's passed unanimously. Thank you. Council? Councillor Dunn.
I move that council give the water utility bylaw number 2005-1 third and final reading.
Thank you. Council, we have a motion on the floor. Councillor Dunn, you're done? All right. I call the question in the council, give the water utility bylaw number 2005-1 third and final reading. Please vote. And that's passed unanimously. Everybody's getting along great today. Thank you. And that brings that to an end. So our next action item 6.4, fees, rates, and charges bylaw number 2001-7. Administration.
Thank you, Mayor. This one will also go to Mr. McLaughlin.
In front of council this afternoon is the fees, rates, and charges bylaw 2001-7. What we've done with the proposed changes is we have added some to the utility fees table. We have we're extending the one table to December 31st, 2026, and adding the voluntary unmetered customer at a proposed rate of $260. And then for the involuntary unmetered customers, we are proposing a rate of $160. And those rates will then change again on January 1st, 2027, where the involuntary unmetered customer rates will disappear, leaving only the unmetered flat rates at that time. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Thank you. Councillor Chambers.
I'd like to make the motion that council give the fees, rates, and charges number 2001-7 first reading.
No, you can't. All right. Thank you. And council, we have a motion on the floor. Does anybody, any thoughts? All right. So we are voting that council give the fees, rates, and charges number 2001-7 first reading. Please vote. And that's passed unanimously. Councillor Charlton.
Yes, I would like to make an amendment to the motion that council amend the flat rate for residential and multi-residential voluntary unmetered customers from 260 to 360.
Thank you.
I would be happy to speak.
Please do.
Good. I just feel that we have a lot of citizens in Hinton that have been very good at going through the motions and the process of getting water meters set up in Hinton. And this is something that we have needed for a very long time. And as we are learning and going through the process, there are times where water rates could be going up due to leakages or anything like that. And I just feel that if you are an unmetered citizen, that it is very important that you pay your proportionate share of water in Hinton, as there's many citizens that are willing to do that. So I just feel that 260 is not enough, and I would like to see the rate go up to 360.
Thank you. Anyone else? Councillor Chambers.
So just for clarification, then this would apply to the entire group. So the base group would be still at 160 up until December 31st. And then they would jump to 360 come January 1st as this motion is, or as Councillor Charlton stated. So eventually they would all be at 360 at that January 1st rate, but the involuntary group would stay at the 160 between now and the end of December. Is that correct?
Okay, well, I see no one else in line, and I'll just add my voice to comments that Councillor had made already. I think it's important that there be no subsidy of citizens by other citizens. And if your choice is not to have a meter, I respect that, but in no instance should your water bill at any level fall on the shoulders of your citizen, your neighbors. And without a meter, there's no way to tell if you are, if you aren't. And I think erring on the upper side of things really ensures that there isn't any subsidy of anyone else. So I will be supporting the motion put forward. Thank you. Councillor Dunn.
I'll be supporting this as well. I believe 260 is low, as Councillor Charlton has explained.
Right, Charles. Councillors, anything else? All right. So now, to be clear, we're voting on the amendment and only the amendment. The council amend the flat rate for the residential and multi-residential volunteer unmetered customers to $360. And with that, please vote. All right, and that's passed unanimously. Thank you, council. Okay. Oh. Yeah, that was moved by Councillor Charlton. Thank you. All right, so can we see then the amended? Okay, so we got to go back to first reading now, correct? Because there's been a change made?
Through the mayor, note we're good to proceed to second reading as amended.
All right. Councillor McLean.
Yeah, I move that council give the fees, rates, and charges number 2001-7 second reading as amended.
Councillor, we have a motion on the floor. Seeing no one in queue, then I call the question. The council give the fees, rates, and charges number 2001-7 second reading as amended. Please vote. And that's passed unanimously. Thank you. Councillor Chambers.
I'd like to make a motion that council seek unanimous consent for third reading of the fees, rates, and charges bylaw number 2001-7.
Council, we have a motion on the floor. Seeing no one wanting to talk, I call the question. The council seek unanimous consent for third reading of the fees, rates, and charges number 2001-7. Please vote. And that's passed unanimously. Thank you. Council? Councillor Dunn.
I move that council give the fees, rates and charges number 2001-7 third and final reading as amended.
All right, so we have a motion on the floor. What you say now doesn't matter anyhow. So I'll call the question. The council gives the fees, rates and charges number 2001-7 third and final reading as amended. Please vote. And that's passed unanimously. All right, so we have our bylaws in place. And with that, we have some correspondence that's been it. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. There was just one other thing that we wanted to bring up is related to that bylaw, but Mr. McLaughlin.
Yes, Council. Just was thinking it would be a good idea. It was always administration's intention to supply meters to residents up till the end of the year to help them get into compliance. So should they want to hire a plumber and install a meter and get in compliance, I think that the town should continue to supply that meter to them. And so it was always our intention to do that to the end of the year. But if I could just get a motion for that, I think that would be in good order.
Seems reasonable. Councillor Chambers.
I'd like to make a motion that the town of Hinton continue to supply meters to homeowners seeking compliance up till the end of 2026 calendar year. Something like that.
Thank you.
Is it homeowners and businesses, I guess? Or I don't know, maybe I shouldn't be specific on just the homeowner side.
It predominantly relates to residential because the businesses already have meters and they're doing meter changeouts. But if we came across someone missing, we would still apply it. But I think in this particular case, the homeowners does work.
Okay.
That looks like the motion you want to see.
Perfect.
Okay, perfect. We have a motion on the floor. Council. Councillor Chambers. Okay. All right. So I call the question that the town of Hinton supply residential meters to homeowners until the end of 2026. Please vote. Now please vote. And that's passed unanimously. Thank you. Then we move on to section 7, and we do have some correspondence. 7.1, the Alberta Japan Twin Municipalities Association. Any background to come along with this at all, administration?
Thank you, Mayor. No, other than a little bit of the information on page 75 that spoke about the invoice and the upcoming AGM that was occurring in Lacombe and the membership 2026 annual membership.
All right. So I guess, and I don't know if we need a motion this way, but CAO Panasic and I have had this conversation. This came through to me, and you know, the inquiry is made if I was intending to attend. And I mean, my short answer was no. I'm not quite sure what the and I know there was a point where this was closely maintained. That's not the case anymore. It's only $300, but I mean, for me, it seemed maybe that's one we shouldn't invest in, and I wanted to get everybody's thoughts on that. Councillor Charlton.
I'm a little confused on this one. Is this similar to what we had in the past with the Wawanuchi? And it would be supporting that relationship? Is that the intent of this?
Through the mayor, yes, that's my understanding. So Wawanuchi is the sister city of the town of Hinton. And really this organization, this Alberta Japan Twin Municipalities Association, is kind of the organization that facilitates that relationship. My high level understanding is that municipalities will look at doing delegations on occasion from Japan to Japan and Japan here. My understanding is that we did have a delegation from Japan come to Hinton, but I don't believe we've ever reciprocated and gone back. So I don't know if there's been a lot of interaction with this organization for the past little while. I believe, we've attended the AGMs, we've maintained our membership, but I don't believe we've done a whole lot more.
Okay, and could I just follow up with
Yep.
one more question? Would there be, by not maintaining our membership and not attending the AGM, would that put the organization into hardship of any sort? Or like, is it maybe not looking good to not support this?
Through the mayor, I don't know where this organization stands financially, but I don't believe that I believe that it's primarily administered through a municipality, and other than the AGM, but I don't believe that, this is a relatively inexpensive, being $300 to be a part of it, but I don't know the details of the standing of this organization.
And I think it's a bit telling that nobody in the organization knows anything about that organization. So, Councillor Chambers.
And I don't know, maybe it's too late for this year to be ducking out of it, but is it something that we should be getting like a delegation or presentation on to understand what the value is, what the connection is, what we're getting from it, what we're giving to it, just to understand better? I mean, I'm assuming we have to give them some type of notice if we're not wanting to be a member anymore, but I think we should be looking at the benefits to something like this. And I think without any of us knowing what that specifically is, it's hard to keep moving ahead with belonging to an organization if you can't speak to the benefits, I guess. I don't know if I need a motion, but.
Well, I guess we kind of do, right? Administration?
Thank you, Mayor. If it helps, I can give a better answer that I have online, but the twinning relationship provides opportunities for both municipalities to experience new cultures, collaboration between governments, as well as possible economic growth. But above all, it provides an avenue for citizens to create and foster friendships beyond borders. The twinning relationship is in coordination with the Alberta Japan Twin Municipalities Association, whose mission is to stimulate, coordinate, and facilitate the twinning opportunities within the province of Alberta and Japan. So through the mayor, that is about as much information as I have on it, but I believe that it was, what we had talked about previously was correct in how this organization worked. I don't believe we need to provide any notice, but certainly if council wants more information prior to making a decision, we could coordinate that.
Councillor Chambers.
I'm wondering if it's most appropriate to make a motion to bring this back to a committee of the whole when we understand what canceling it actually means. Or if, I don't know if that's where we're going, or if we just make a motion now to discontinue. I just think not fully grasping what the relationship is, it's hard for me to make a motion just to say, let's stop this. But I do think we need to review it, and I don't know, would it be most appropriate to make a motion to bring it back to a future committee meeting for review of what it is, or I'm looking for a little bit of guidance.
Well, I guess I'll comment again. Like when I phoned the woman in, I don't know, whatever community's taking care of this, she had a hard time sort of giving me the elevator speech on why we should care. And I think we've got a lot of big issues coming. We've got water treatment plants and we've got rec centers to build. And I don't know. So is this, if we're going to pay the $300, then let's find the energy to put something into it. I just think we've got bigger fish to fry. Councillor Chambers.
I made my mind up. I'd like to make a motion that we discontinue our annual membership for the Alberta Japan Twin Municipalities Association effective immediately. And to speak to it, I think that after they receive that information, if they wish to come forward and do a presentation on us further, then we can address it. But for now, I'd like to make the motion clear.
I like that motion. All right, council, we have a motion on the floor. Any thoughts, comments? All right, with that, then I call the question. The council direct administration to discontinue the AGITMA membership. And with that, when it comes through, oh, there we go. All right, please vote. And that's passed unanimously. Thank you. All right. And from there, then we move on to notices of motion, and we do have a notice of motion. Should I read it into the record?
Through the mayor, technically, according to our bylaws, that is for me to do for the
I
first
prefer
one.
it
And
that
then
way anyhow then.
I only get the first one though. So we do have a notice of motion to be put on the record that council rescind motion RC 230620.03 and the letter of intent issued to Exquisicare regarding the proposed seniors small care home project and the potential sale of the municipal lands legally described as Plan 182 1995 Block 30 Lot 2, also known as 159 Bhutan Avenue, and direct administration to notify Exquisicare and SE Health accordingly.
Thank you. So that'll be a topic for discussion the next time around. But let's move on to reporting. And council, maybe we'll start at the weak side here, the left side. Councillor Chambers.
I have nothing to report.
Councillor Dunn.
Nothing to report.
Councillor McLean.
Yes, attended the Forest Resource Advisory Committee meeting yesterday, and it was held in Edson, and it'll be alternating between Edson and Hinton on a go-forward basis. We had two presentations, one from Alan Baxter around the business model and woodlands harvesting to the south of Hinton and the obstacles and the challenges that they're facing there. They will be making a presentation to the mayor and council and staff early in May. Also, we had a presentation from Aaron Jones on Forest Over Time, Hinton FMA re-photograph. So what they did is they started at 56 and then 66 and 76 and 86 and onward, taking photographs of all the cut blocks that they harvest out there, and went back every 10 years and took photographs to show after the reforestation what it looks like over the years, right? So it was quite interesting presentation to see exactly what's happening out there in the forest. And that's everything.
Thank you. Councillor Charlton.
Nothing to report.
All right, just quickly then from myself, I'd like to thank Nancy Robbins from Community Futures. I took away some of her time last week to just get on top of what's going on in this region from an economic development perspective. She's always busy. And then I met with the Mid-Sized Town Mayors Caucus, which the meetings are brutally boring, but the topic is super important. It's really talking about the cost barriers that small and medium-sized communities face when you're looking at replacing infrastructure. And what it is we're trying to get all 82 communities that fall, below that 14,999, and to approach the provincial government as a group, looking for special funding considerations as it relates to infrastructure. And then lastly, and this is more of a shout out than anything else, I volunteered on the weekend at the biathlon event. And Hinton should be super proud of the Nordic Center and the facility we have there. And I would just like to thank all of the organizers who put that together. There was 109 skiers out there this weekend, skiing and blasting away. And it's just a great event. Well done. Thanks, Hinton. And with that, administration.
Thank you, Mayor. Nothing to report.
That's concise. Thank you. Councillor McLean. Hang on, I didn't give you the mic. I was thinking it over. Councillor McLean.
Motion to adjourn.
All right, council. Please vote. And we are adjourned at 4:56. Thank you.